WXII 12 News at 5 starts right now.
Pothole problems, what a construction company says led to major damage on a busy Winston-Salem road.
Plus, what comes next for impacted drivers who say their vehicles have sustained thousands in damage.
This sucks. This sucks. But what makes it all better is when you know how many true friends you have.
A Triad business vandalized.
A look at the damage to a local gymnastics studio and how its owner is working to recover from the destruction.
Well, you never know. I mean, it could be your kid, it could be your family member tomorrow.
Jumping into action and raising awareness.
In tonight's Salute to Heroes, we introduce you to a local man who helped save a life and how he's giving others the tools to do the same thing. WXII 12 News at 5 starts right now.
Right to breaking news in the race for our state's governor. A new CNN report accuses Republican nominee Mark Robinson of making inflammatory comments in chat rooms.
Now, the current lieutenant governor is facing pressure even from within his own party to drop out of the race. Let's get to Bill O'Neill. He has been following this breaking news for us for several hours now. He joins us live tonight. Bill, there is a lot to unpack here.
Yeah, there really is. It was a short while ago that CNN aired the story claiming that Mr. Robinson had made inflammatory statements on a pornographic website message board more than a decade ago. And in those messages, Mr. Robinson referred to himself as the Black Nazi and expressed support for reinstating slavery. Earlier today, Mr. Robinson responded to the story in an interview with CNN.
The things that people can do with the internet now is incredible. But what I can tell you is this. Again, these are not my words. This is simply tabloid trash being used as a distraction from the substantive issues that the people of this state are facing.
The Robinson campaign made it clear this afternoon that they have no intention of Mr. Robinson dropping out of the race. If they did, the deadline is midnight tonight, according to the State Board of Elections. According to the latest polls, Mr. Robinson trails Democrat Josh Stein by 14 points. In Greensboro, I'm Bill O'Neill, WXII 12 News.
Bill, thank you. The campaign for Robinson's opponent, Democratic candidate for governor and current North Carolina Attorney General Josh Stein, releasing a statement late this afternoon on that report. The statement says, quote, North Carolinians already know Mark Robinson is completely unfit to be governor. Josh remains focused on winning this campaign so that together we can build a safer, stronger North Carolina for everyone.
Joined now in studio by Wake Forest political science professor Dr. John Dinan. Good to see you as always, sir. Your reaction to this? You've been covering politics and teaching it for a long, long time. It's not October yet, but we might call this an October surprise. Where does this rank for you in terms of potential damage to the candidate?
It's a bombshell report. It's one that's just going to leave a huge mark. The one thing we'd say is there have been already so many inflammatory, incendiary statements that were associated with Mark Robinson. These statements can be seen as going far beyond what was already being reported and was already on campaign ads across the state. It is very difficult to see the Robinson campaign coming back and surviving this type of day.
We heard Bill just mention that polls he's been looking at have shown Josh Stein up double digits, if not high single digits in that range. Does this change the race that much, in your opinion?
I mean, it was already a huge uphill climb for Robinson to see a path to victory. After today, it becomes very, very difficult, if not impossible. It is now Democrats who in some ways hope that Robinson stays in the race, and it is Republican officials, particularly anybody going to be appearing on the ballot this year alongside Robinson, who are most likely hoping that Robinson in the next 7 hours steps down.
We talk about a lot the impact that the candidate at the top, the presidential nominee, can have on down ballot races. It wasn't that long ago when Joe Biden was running and there was concern because polls had him down 6, 7, 8 points. Democrats down ballot were worried how much they were going to have to overperform Joe Biden in order to win their races. Could we see something of a reverse coattail effect? Could Mark Robinson hurt Donald Trump, or does it not really work that way if he stays in the race?
Up until today, it was unlikely that we'd actually see the reverse coattails, that is Robinson hurting Trump or other candidates. Today's news, though, has the potential to hurt Trump and other Republicans. And you can see that, by the way, some Republican officials are beginning to publicly distance themselves from Robinson. This has real potential to hurt other Republicans running in 2024. It's one of the reasons why there's going to be a full court press on tonight to try to persuade Robinson among Republican officials to step aside.
And quickly, of course, the lieutenant governor released a video saying he's staying in the race, and he vehemently denies the allegations in this CNN report during a live interview. Do you see him at any point changing his mind between 5:05 and 11:59 tonight? And what would it take for him to do so?
You know, Joe Biden said up until the day he stepped down that he was going to continue in the race. Eventually, the pressure became so strong and he left the race. Could the pressure become so strong on Robinson? Let's say, for instance, that Donald Trump would pick up the phone and call Mark Robinson and urge him to step aside for Donald Trump's own political future. That's probably what could do it.
All right, John, we appreciate your time and insight as always. We'll continue, of course, to follow this story on television and online. We'll post updates on WXII12.com and keep you posted on the free WXII 12 News mobile app.